So welcome back to Satisfactory, and as you can see at the top left there is a big experimental build. It's just stamped right in that top left corner. So we are trying the experimental build for update 4, which I've kind of had a little bit of look at my big save, but before we tackle that, what have I been doing with my main base? So we're kind of gone in interesting directions. I spent some credits to get some windows, so now everything's kind of hidden away, which I like. I kind of have my system that I have under here for temporarily building things, which is good. All of my storage racks are in their relevant places, happy to be working. Out the back, I haven't really been doing that much. Well, actually, I lie. I actually have done quite a bit, because with restructuring comes lots of other things. So yeah, we've got something that I'm not happy about. We've got a few things floating, but hey ho. But this has been able to be simplified, and it's quite interesting, some of the ideas and techniques that I'm using. Like, I have an entire screw system. Probably going to need that on just to see what we're doing. So yeah, if we... Ooh, funny green tinges. That's going to be interesting and fun. If we head in this direction... Yeah, we have lots of screws being produced because we need lots of screws. And basically, I have a conveyor system that puts lots of different items on, and then I configure smart splitters, so overflow through right screws, so screws get filtered into here, and then this one filters iron rods, and this one does the same. So rather than having like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different tracks going to these 3 machines, I generally only have one track that merges all the components that they need at various speeds to make it a lot easier. And then when it all comes out, like here, it again goes into my sorting system and into my automated storage system. So this one, obviously, iron rods goes in this cube, and then in this one I have screws and various other resources, and then that continues round into the other section there. We continue round the area and comes through here. This is my steel section, which it all gets sort into. Then it comes round to here, whereby it goes into, yeah, that'll be cadmium and quick wire, that sort of thing. Then comes out here under this bridge through here. So anything that is completely topped off instantly gets put onto this track and fed straight into this, and then round and into a sink. God knows how many tokens. 0. Okay. And what that allows me to do is have a central section here. So here we have like steel pipes, and that's steel beams. That should be steel. That's just raw coal. Oh no, that'd be ingots. And then here, steel beams and so forth. So if I need to actually produce something, I can just sort of get a belt, drop it into here because it's an underground system. Route it round underneath here. Say remove that, and then say, oh, I need an assembler, and I can plonk it down and just do a temporary setup for resources that I need, which is lovely. All that base is there. Now, the interesting stuff. So, let's have a look at the tiers. So, we have all the standard stuff. What have they changed? Walls, lookout, that all looks similar. Conveyors, that's all looks similar. That all looks same. Sweet. Part assembly, that looks the same. Biofuel comes with that. Jelly lamb. Awesome sink, awesome shop. Logistics. Coal power. Oh, you now get the fluid buffer in this. Interesting, because that used... Interesting. I don't recall the fluid buffer being at that point. Basic steel, as we know. Advanced steel, encased beam, modular plating, that's all the same. Xenobasher, hypertube, still got to do that. Now, this is the interesting one. This is to prevent overloads. What do we need for one of those? We've got it there. So, that's probably going to be my first port of call. So 2, 3, let's say 4 to be safe. So Sator's, I think I put up here. That's motors. That's Sator's. Modular frames. That's there. Modular frames I put round here. That's that, there we go. 50, okay. So let's go and go to my power distribution area. How much concrete have I got? How much concrete have I got? Enough to do what I want. Okay, don't need you. Let's head in this direction. So this power storage system is designed to prevent overloads. The way the game previously worked in regards to coal production and in regards to oil power generation is the game would just... Oh god, this has been a while. I'm lost already. Yes, as I was saying, almost didn't make that. It would vary the output of those generators based on your need. So if you're not using all your power capacity in your facility, it means that all your generators will not be running at 100% use. They will actually idle. So you'd only have like a graph of your max and what you're currently using. Now you have 3 lines. So you have like a max output, because now all generators will be running at 100%. So that's our max threshold. This sort of blue line is kind of where our power production currently peaks out at. So you've got spare bandwidth, and that's where the power storage comes in. Is you can hook these things into your power network and it'll give you extra on top of that grey line. So where this set of power here that you're not using, you can actually put that into a battery. So if you accidentally attach something to the network and it would do a trip. It'll instantly pull on the batteries, thus preventing a trip in the first place. Which I think is a fairly neat idea to try and implement into the game, because that's one of the problems that I ran into a little while ago. Was I did a bit of expansion, hooked something into the network, and next thing I know, I'd tripped the power, and it was a constant fight to... Didn't like that sound. It was a constant fight to actually get it back on, because I could only power up parts of my network. So here's my coal production, which is going into my lovely power generation up here. So what we need to do is conveyor mark 2, power pole mark 2, please, and we get a power storage. I kind of like to have the little bumpy bit so you can see what's going on, so we'll just dump those. That's one back. Flip you round and over, get a wire, and let's hook these in. Now what they do is it takes an hour for them to generate a full charge. So hooking these all up means that all these will come online at the same time. And as you see, it stores 100 megawatts. So we're going to have a safety net in an hour of 400 megawatts over our max production. So if for some reason I ended up going over 600 megawatts, I could safely go up to 1,000 megawatts and not trip, which I think is quite neat. And you have the charge rate there, so it's kind of using that unused power that we're generating to... Ooh, it's jumping about, so it's saying about an hour and a half, but I have hooked 4 of these in at once, so that gives me a nice bit of safety net. Oh, I love my power generation. Got to expand it soon. Just out of sheer, it needs to be done. Other things that I did off screen in the time is I think I upgraded these to Mark IIs. Yes, I did. So these 2 Mark IIs are going into here now, and that's all going in this direction. I am toying with the idea of getting rid of this and perhaps setting down a vehicle to do the transportation. I haven't really decided which way I'm going to go on that, but that's my power generation sorted, so I can quite happily expand and hopefully not trip during this session, which would be nice. Next thing I need to do is, as you can see, using my lovely leggy things on one of these tracks to get optimal speed, to get back. I do agree, chat. It isn't a big change. However, when it can be problematic when you do trip. So it's nice that they are giving the option for you to be able to build up a buffer that you can pull on to try and prevent yourself from tripping. In here, I know that... Where are you? Have I unlocked them? Vehicles, organization. Here we go. You can now get get a lighting control panel. You can get floodlights to put on the outside of buildings. You can implement street lighting, and you have interior ceiling lighting, which can be interesting. No, not that. I can't have unlocked it yet. I thought it was in here. It may be related to the MAM. Because, did they change any of that? That looks all the same. Caterium. Oh yeah, that's what's also new, is zipline. So you can now use the cables that you put between wires as a zip line to try and help you get around a little bit quicker. There it is. Power switch. This is so you can actually put units in on the actual power poles. Allows you to actually just physically turn off a system or a part of a network, again to help with restoring a base that's gone down. I can't afford that because I don't have any plastic. But what do you need? AI limiters. Let's go up here. Or actually, no. Quick wire. Where is it that it's free? Yeah. No, that's ores. Are you free? Thought I had a couple free. Ooh, is it you? No, it's not you. For now, what I would say, you, that's a problem. I don't want to exactly rip that all up. Modular frame, heavy modular frame. I might be able to get away with using you. Oh, I gotta get up there. Have I got an AI limiter on me? Question of the decade. No. Okay. We'll scrap that idea for now. Instead, we go through here. And because I did so much in the background, yay, we can seal. And we can send that off. Hallelujah. I'm not going to get talkie voice? I was expecting talkie voice. So, we just unlocked oil processing. So, oil extractor, finery, plastic, rubber, scan crude oil, circuit board, petroleum coke, and fuel. Then we get industrial manufacturing. Adaptive oh yeah, that's for that. We get packing. We get our gas mask. Have I got enough fabric for that? This is going to be interesting to a certain viewer. Because if you go mycelia, which are basically mushrooms that you find in the caves, and you fill out this tree on this side, you get to learn how to make fabric. And once you've learned that, you can learn how to make a parachute. Fun, huh? And that's how you learned how to make fabric. Fuel generator. So that's going to be my big priorities right now. Oil processing. Then expanded power infrastructure, followed by, well, actually might be that first, but we should have most of that in my little tubbies. Let's see, motors up here, I believe. And ooh, we're not making that yet. Oh, I remember what I gotta do. Crap. That's what I was gonna do in this stream. This was gonna get entirely ripped up because now we have coming in here. What are you? Conveyor belt Mark III. Brain's not working, so that's 270 resources. Yeah, we can definitely boost up that. You're Mark II? And you're on a Mark III as well. Yes. Okay, so the first port of call is going to be doing that. Getting a wall. Drop you other way round. Let's head outside, because encased beams require concrete, and we just so happen to have concrete just here. So let's do a splitter. We'll try with just a Mark I for now. Oh. I was too excited. I forgot to just top up on normal stuff. Let's go round in iron plates, was it? There we go. Oh, they've changed stack sizes as well. Like, plates now stack to 200 instead of 100. They're still 100. They're 50. Those now stack to 100. They was 50. That's still 50. But yeah, like that's stacking. Yep, iron rods now stack up to 200. We've got nothing there. Nothing in there. Nothing in there. Didn't change that. Copper sheets now stack to 200 instead of 100. Cables now stack at 200 instead of 100. Wire is still the same. Concrete now is 500 instead of 100. Which actually is pretty sweet, to be honest. That's still the same. Yeah, ingots, raw ingots are still 100. All the ores are still 100. Have these changed? Nope. That's still 98, but I'm not producing them. Okay, so pipes are now at 200. Same with beams. We're going to need some beams. Right, so back this way. But yes, they're doing a few more tweaks than just that battery system, as to say, this is going to be ugly as sin, but it's going to get the job done. Where's my door? door. Right, so that's my concrete. What are you making? You are making steel pipes, which probably means you're making my steel beams. Okay, so for a start, let's get rid of all of this because it's not really needed right now, because all this is going to get ripped up, because I did only have about 120 capacity, so I could only have a few smelters, so I've got to get my steel production up to snuff, which involves taking a lot of this. And you and you. Okay. So if we do that, and get rid of that, where do you go? You go up here. You should feed into the automated system. Oh God. I have just the thing for you then. If I put a storage other way round, we drop in some of the materials that we just was picking up, and we do that. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. And we go, wada-da. So now my useless junk is going to be going through the automated system and filling up whatever needs to be filled up. So that's my coal source, which means I now have got to do the same with my iron. Let's see if we can do quick maths in my head. So each one of these need 45, so that's 90, 180, 180, 180, 225, 225, 30. I should be able to do 6 foundries, I think. Fitting them is going to be a completely different headache, because I didn't quite envisage that when I decided to make this my steel production location, but hey ho. But yes, I definitely want to dispel the myth that smart splitters you can vary the rate that things go on and off a track. That is not the use that they are designed for. They are purely designed so if you have multiple things on one track, you can actually filter out things off of the track that you want to use. Like in the situation of what I have in there, it works fantastically. Oh, you're floating in midair. Don't want you floating in midair. Get rid of you. I may have to expand the floor. And how many foundries do we have? It is production foundry. 6, no. So I need more modular frames. You take it easy, chat. You have a good one. So over here, let's grab some of you. Run through here, go back up.